In a night where a select few are recognised, it's a subconscious reminder of the quality of the state of the game we hold so dear. The sport of thoroughbred racing. Every individual that takes a trophy home is a champion in their field, but it also highlights the strength of that field. In other words, to be a champion, you must overcome champions. And New South Wales is a state brimming with participants full of champion qualities. So win, lose or draw, it's all the racing champions within this great state that we celebrate tonight on Racing's Night of Champions.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Royal Randwick to the Grand Ballroom. We haven't been together for this function for a couple of years, but it's nice to be back here doing this all again for Racing's Night of Champions. We've got a lot to get through tonight. A lot of awards to hand out, which will culminate this evening in the New South Wales Horse of the Year and also the unveiling of the Bart Cummings Medal. But first, would you please welcome Jane Henning, the CEO of the New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to convey the apologies of our President, Tony Matevsky, who unfortunately was a late scratching at the barrier due to veterinary advice. I've had to step up as first emergency, so let's hope I can make the distance. I was feeling pretty good until I realised that my outfit matches the decor of the tables, but anyway. Anyway, on behalf of the New South Wales Racehorse Owners Committee, I'm honoured to welcome you to Racing's Night of Champions for 2022, where we celebrate the best of our industry. It's certainly terrific to have everyone in the room again after a difficult couple of years with COVID restrictions. It's fantastic. It gives me great pleasure to welcome our special guest, the Chairman of Racing New South Wales, Mr Russell Balding, the Chairman of the ATC, Matt McGrath, ATC Foundation Chair, Trish Egan, TAB's Chief Customer Officer, Jenny Barnett, and TAB's Chief Operating Officer, Paul Carew. Welcome. We're delighted to also be hosting Racing New South Wales Awards tonight, bringing together the major accolades for both horses and humans in our wonderful state. Our flagship event is once again being recorded and broadcast by our exclusive media partner, Sky Racing, with the first episode of this wonderful evening being shown at 7:30 p.m. tomorrow evening on Sky Thoroughbred Central. Our charity of choice this year is the ATC Foundation, with funds raised by the foundation being directed to Equine Pathways Australia, a charity which supports athletes getting back into equestrian sports after illness or injury. Oops, sorry. Please see your programs for details on the great live auction and raffle, which will raise funds for this very worthy cause. After the award presentations, we'll be straight into the live auction. The success of this function would not be possible without corporate supporters. In particular, I would like to thank Gower Gates Insurance, who have come on board as major partners of the New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association this year. And on behalf of the directors, I would also like to thank Racing New South Wales, the TAB, Sky Thoroughbred Central, the Australian Turf Club, Wild Oaks, Arrowfield, Inglis. Got so many lovely supporters. Carazzo Consulting, Highclere Racing, Sire Custodians and De Bortoli Wines, which you will hopefully be enjoying as we speak. Thanks also go to our host of the evening, Greg Radley, who's been doing a fantastic job hosting our night for many years. The New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association would also like to thank our fantastic event manager from Infinity Event and Video Production, Pauline Lamb. She does a fantastic job, and this is her 10th year helping to organise this event. It's fantastic. And also the amazing visuals created by the Sky production team tonight. It's great. So, yeah, please give them a hand. And last but most importantly, our warm congratulations to all the worthy finalists. It's a big battle to get into the top 3 or 4 in New South Wales in any category. So congratulations to you and, of course, to the winners tonight. We hope you have a wonderful evening and thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Everyone arrived this evening via a red carpet. A lot of beautiful people strolled the red carpet tonight. Let's see who made it into the final cut.
Thanks very much, Greg. Well, Ali, we're back. We're finally back on the red carpet. It's been a while, but we are here to celebrate the season that was.
And a very different look for us tonight, Shani. No gumboots or runners. We're all glammed up and ready for a big celebration.
What a night we're in for.
Oh, Chantel, it was a surprise. I still can't believe where he's come from 4 starts, winning a Class 2 highway to beating Nature Strip.
I really loved winning on Harmony Rose in the Albury Cup. Can't beat winning one for your boss and your first stakes winner.
That's been incredible, Bert. The Autumn Carnival was incredible. We're going to see some of the highlights tonight. Great horses, great jockeys, great trainers. Couldn't ask for anything more across Sydney racetracks.
What was your highlight of this last season?
Oh, no doubt the Queen Elizabeth. I think I was pretty hoarse the next day. I must have done some roaring as he come up the straight. But no, just a wonderful prep. The whole season with him. Just to watch him take each step.
Steph and Chris join me. Steph, why are you in green tonight?
I'm not allowed to wear it to the races because it's unlucky, so it's the only time I can wear green, so I thought, what's a better opportunity?
Have you never trained any winners when Steph's turned up in green before?
I'm sure we have along the way, but I think it's an old superstition, not really from me, but I think most race goers, but maybe it's changed.
Chris, another exciting season for you. Is there a particular highlight?
The Everest was pretty good, seeing we're in New South Wales, and obviously the Melbourne Cup was very special, and then to top it off, Royal Ascot was right up there with one of the best moments ever, but in all, challenging season, but great results.
And you're better at this year?
I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, it was an amazing year, simple as that.
Enjoy your night, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, all in all, mostly beautiful people. It is time now for our Bart Cummings medal update, number 1 of the night. We'll update right throughout the evening, and the final award will be the Bart Cummings medal. Here is update number 1.
With the spring's biggest races complete, it was the Everest-winning team of James McDonald and Chris Waller atop the Bart Cummings medal points at this stage. Nasharawilla also had a huge spring carnival, thanks to the deeds of Think It Over, as well as a treble on Everest Day. And the first four was rounded out by Brock Ryan. Group 2 victories on Chat and Jamea were breakthroughs, while a narrow second in the Golden Eagle provided heartbreak.
So James McDonald leads the Bart Cummings medal up till October. It's time for our first award of the night. It's the New South Wales 2-year-old of the year. It's proudly sponsored by Arrowfield. Presenting the award tonight, John Freyer, Bloodstock Manager of Arrowfield.
The nominations for the New South Wales 2-year-old of the year are Fireburn.
Coming through is Fireburn with a big run off the fence, and Fireburn charges home and gives Gary Portelli his second golden slipper. So I had a dream that I'd just fly.
She's a Belter.
She's a Belter's in front from Basquiat. Late as Brosnan down the outside. Sharp and Smart coming late as well. But She's a Belter's in front from a wall. She's a Belter has won from photos.
She's Extreme.
She's Extreme inside the 200, a length and a half clear from Fireburn. She's trying. She's Extreme still in front. Fireburn lifting late. She's Extreme clinging on from Fireburn, and She's Extreme flips the result this time.
The New South Wales 2-year-old of the year is Fireburn. Accepting the award tonight, Matt Grady from Laurel Lake.
Fireburn proved throughout the juvenile Triple Crown that 2 out of 3 ain't bad. In fact, it's breathtaking. The fabulous filly made us all stand up and take notice in a wet track, Sweet Embrace Demolition. She defied horrific luck to win the world's richest juvenile race, the Golden Slipper, then further proved her class with a next-level win in the ATC Sires over the championships.
I know you don't think you can go far.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Lou and Jill Mahaika, Laurel Lake Bloodstock and their Fireburn Ownership Group, we'd like to thank Arrowfield for their sponsorship of tonight's award. We'd also like to thank the New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association for putting on the Night of Champions. It's great to be back in the room tonight, and for all the work they do for racehorse owners in New South Wales. Congratulate the other nominees. She's a Belter, She's Extreme, fantastic fillies in their own right, and we look forward to doing battle with them in the future. Our biggest thank you goes to Gary Portelli and the dedicated staff at Portelli Racing. They did a sensational job with this filly, getting her through to the races. We were ecstatic when she got into the early 2-year-old races and won a couple of Metropolitan Saturday races. Then for Gary to plot a path to try and qualify for the slipper, her passing that and then she coming out and sensationally winning the slipper was a tremendous effort, and to go on, win the Sires and narrowly beaten in the Champagne Stakes was beyond words. We thank Brenton Avdulla for his amazing rides in the 3 Group 1s. Thank you. We also make mention of Tyler Schiller and Jason Collett for their rides early in the filly's career, because that went a long way to qualifying her for the slipper. Winning the slipper was a dream for any owner, but it was beyond words for Laurel Oak and our group of owners. Not only do we have the filly, but she's by our very own stallion, Rebel Dane, and her achievements allowed him to secure a home at Widden Stud in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales, and he's been very popular with broodmare owners across the state. We also congratulate the Laurel Oak Mullover Breeding Syndicate, who in conjunction with our great friends at Silverdale Farm, Stephen Eliza Grant and Ken and Marie Lowe, bred the filly, and we look forward to future success with them. Finally, I'd just like to make special mention to one of Fireburn's part owners, Mr. Ray Gunston, who very sadly passed away shortly after the Autumn Carnival. Ray had the privilege of leading Fireburn back following her slipper victory, but sadly won't be with us for the remainder of her career, but we're certainly cheering down from up above, and Fireburn will continue to race on in his honour. Thank you.
Congratulations to everyone involved with Fireburn, our New South Wales 2-year-old of the year. Now we move on to the New South Wales 3-year-old of the year. It's proudly sponsored by Inglis. Joining me on stage to present the award, Andrew Muntz, Chief Operating Officer, of Inglis.
The nominations for the New South Wales 3-year-old of the year are Animo.
Animo's getting serious now, and he said ta-da to Profondo. Away goes Animo in the Rosehill Guineas. He's well clear. Conversion's trying to run into second place, but this is the best of Animo today. A brilliant performance in the Rosehill Guineas, won it by 7 lengths.
Hinge.
And Finch takes the lead from Heresy. Star Tontes bursting through Espiona very late. Star Tontes goes after Hinge, then Espiona. Star Tontes and Hinge, stride for stride. Hinged and Star Tontes, they split the line. This is desperately close.
Home Affairs.
Home Affairs showing a good kick. Tri-State wobbling under pressure, and Home Affairs has gone further in front. Palele and King of Sparta can't get there, but look at Home Affairs go. I think it's fair to say there's the Coolmore Everest slot taken care of.
Paul Laley.
Palele got a length and a half clear. King of Sparta, Glen Eagles fighting out the Miners. Palele clearing the Roman Consul, too good.
The New South Wales 3-year-old of the year is Animo. The award tonight will be accepted by Animo's trainer, James Cummings.
Animo racked up 4 wins, all at either Group 1 or Group 2 level in his 3-year-old season. But he also impressed with his versatility over a range of distances. He opened his account this season by winning the Run to the Rose at Kembla Grange over 1,200 metres. Won at both 1,400 and 1,600 metres through the last 12 months. But perhaps his most impressive outing to date was a 6-length demolition in the Group 1 2,000 metre Rosehill Guineas.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, Vin Cox and Ross Cole and the entire Godolphin team in Australia, I'd like to thank everybody involved tonight that puts on these awards and shows recognition for all these great horses, of which Animo is clearly one of them. We're incredibly proud and humbled to have a horse as good as him in our care, and we don't take that honour and that prestige lightly. The horse himself was born on the 16th of November in 2018, and he has proved to be the best of his cohort in New South Wales at least, and we feel in the entire country. And he's the type of horse that gets the hairs on the back of our neck standing up and gives us the passion to keep driving on. He's also the horse that is instrumental and critical to our business, but even more than that, he's a pure thoroughbred. He's an absolute classic horse who is the quintessential Australian athlete, and we feel very privileged to have him in our care, and I'm incredibly proud of the entire team who've done a flawless job in looking after him in his career so far, and a pleasure for us to have seen it kicked off beautifully in his 4-year-old season last weekend. So thank you for the acknowledgement, and have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Well done, James. And now it's time for the New South Wales Sprinter of the Year. It's proudly sponsored by the Australian Turf Club. To present the award, Matt McGrath, Chairman of the Australian Turf Club.
The nominations for the New South Wales Sprinter of the Year are Eduardo.
Eduardo's got plenty of gas in the tank, and Eddie's still running at the 100. Nature Strip's got the job to get there. Shelby 66 is running into second. Charging home, Eduardo in front, clings on. Eduardo just, but Shelby 66 nearly knocked the grandstand over.
Forbidden Love.
It's Forbidden Love, tackling for the lead. Forbidden Love put the head in front. Banker's Choices running on well the outside, but Forbidden Love's drawn a length and a half clear. Colette the inside. Laws of Indices fights on, but there's another one for Forbidden Love. She's in grand form and goes on to win the George Ryder.
Nature Strip.
But Nature Strip wants his piece of history today, and he's got it. Here's a TJ treble for the Sprint King. Nature Strip goes on to beat Eduardo.
The New South Wales Sprinter of the Year is Nature Strip. Accepting the award, Patrick Harrison.
Nature Strip accomplished what appeared to be his destiny this season, and that's well before he left our shores. The superstar finally reached the summit of the Everest at his third attempt. He also lined up for his third TJ Smith start, a race he remains unbeaten in.
Rod Lyons, of course, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'm not Patrick. I'm far better looking than Patrick. Fat Pat's disappeared, but I know I've got to say a few words, which is a pleasure. Congratulations to all the winners tonight. I said to my wife Mary, I said, I've got 1 minute and 40 seconds to make a speech. She said, that's plenty of time for you, darling, don't worry about it. So it is a great opportunity and a great thrill on behalf of all the owners to be here to accept this trophy. Special thanks to Chris Waller. The last 2 or 3 years I've got to know Chris pretty well. I remember watching the TV and thinking, that bloke can't be right. He can't be as nice as that. He can't be as good as that, but he certainly is. To all his staff, to Charlie, Sophie, Shanae, Stewie, and of course to James McDonald who rides this horse so well, and to the horse himself. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Rod. Rod Lyons, the managing part owner of Nature Strip. From the Sprinter of the Year, we go to the New South Wales Miler of the Year, proudly sponsored by Wild Oaks. Presented by Julia Ritchie, owner-director, Wild Oaks.
The nominations for the New South Wales Miler of the Year are I'm Thunderstruck.
It's Count to Rupee getting a half length on Apache Chase. Then I'm Thunderstruck digging in now. Count to Rupee. I'm Thunderstruck went boom over the top. I'm Thunderstruck got up to win the Golden Eagle.
Mr. Brightside.
Working into the clear, Mr. Brightside from Ice Bar for a bit of love under siege. Mr. Brightside charged up. Mr. Brightside takes the lead. Ice Bath runs on. Mr. Brightside for the Hayes boys wins it.
Very Elegant.
Very Elegant. She's starting to extend now, and the great mare hits the lead of the 200. Very Elegant. A length on. Think It Over is in for the fight, and then came She's Ideal. Colette can't get out. Very Elegant just in front. About a neck in front to She's Ideal, who's looking to rein on the party, but Very Elegant. She's brave. She lifts, and she wins her second Chipping Daughter.
The New South Wales Miler of the Year is Very Elegant.
Very Elegant can now add a Miler of the Year gong after taking out the middle distance and stayer category in last season's awards. And her mile credentials this year were impeccable. She had 2 starts at the Trip, tackling the George Main Stakes in the spring and shipping Norton Stakes in the autumn, both at Group 1 level, and was victorious each time.
Ladies and gentlemen, last minute call up. The French trainer couldn't make it tonight, but fortunately I'm still here. But a great honour to be training a horse like Very Elegant. For a great group of owners, it's been an absolute thrill, pleasure to have her the last 3-4 years, winning races from 1400 metres to 3200 metres, all sorts of tracks. She really is an amazing Australian horse that, that we'll never forget, and we certainly hope that she continues to do well. I spoke to her new trainer, and of course he was a little bit disappointed with her first up run, but there's plenty of reasons there. I think she'll come on nicely with the run. He said she settled in well and just a bit ring rusty were the exact words. So I think she races again in another 3 weeks, and I'm sure she'll shine through, and there'll be a race or 2 there for her, and we'll be cheering her on. So thanks for the owners, thanks to all of my staff that just worked tirelessly, and this horse is a good example. She won
Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup during COVID, and she comes back to Sydney and wins Group 1 races every preparation. So just an amazing part to be part of that team, and we're certainly privileged to be training horses like Very Elegant. So thanks very much.
Thank you, Chris. The New South Wales Middle Distance Horse of the Year. It's proudly sponsored by Wappet Bloodstock, to be presented by Debbie Kapitas from Wappet Bloodstock.
The nominations for the New South Wales Middle Distance Horse of the Year are Duace.
Think It Over and Duas are coming together. Spanish Mission, 100 to go. Duas is wearing it down. Duas takes the lead. Duas for Josh Parr won the Australian Cup. Won it easily.
Think It Over.
Think It Over. Can Nash get it home? He's coming right down the outside. Zaki in front. Think It Over. Down the stands rail. Lunges. Gets up. Think It Over. What a ride. Nash Rawiller in spectacular style wins the Queen Elizabeth, running down Zaki.
Zaki.
Down the middle of the track, and Zaki shot to the front and kicked away in the tramway from Dreamforce, Prime Star, Arameo late on the scene, but he basically picks up where he left off in Brisbane. This is a demolition job in the tramway. Eased him down, Zaki, to win it by 2 lengths to Arameo.
Okay, it's now time to announce the New South Wales Middle Distance Horse of the Year, and it's Think It Over.
In a season where some superstar middle distance horses were domiciled in the Waratah State, Think It Over was the most consistent of them. A beautifully placed treble across the spring features of the Hill Stakes, Craven Plate and Rosehill Gold Cup netted Connections $1 million bonus. But the crowning achievement of the Kembla Grange Marvel was attained in the premier weight for age middle distance race of the Sydney Autumn, the Queen Elizabeth Stakes.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I take this opportunity to thank and congratulate the New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association and the many sponsors here tonight for staging this showcase event for the benefit of all of us that share a passion for racing. It's also my very great pleasure to be here tonight to accept this award on behalf of Think It Over. This horse has achieved so much under Kerry Parker's management and placement. As Greg Radley once put it, he became less of a giant killer, but rather the giant himself, the one that the others had to beat. So huge thanks to Kerry and his staff that have looked after Think It Over so brilliantly, and that he's been able to extract the very best from this horse. And how about Nash? He took over as Think It Over's regular rider when Bossy retired. Glenn, apart from winning the George Rider on him, played a significant role in educating Think It Over, particularly in the early stages of his career, by teaching him to relax in his races. And on taking the reins from Glenn, Nash immediately bonded with the horse, so much so that Kerry likened Think It Over to the pie and Nash the sauce. Such was the level of their affiliation, both highly competitive, with a take-no-prisoners attitude. They were the ideal partners in crime, as demonstrated when they took out the Queen Elizabeth. A race that will long be remembered for Nash's controversial race tactics and Think It Over's determination to chase down the leader on a surface that he's just not comfortable on. In his relatively short career, Think It Over has gained quite a cult following, mainly due to one quality that all horses that compete at the elite level have, and that quality is the one that cannot be identified in the foaling pen or the sales ring. And that quality is raw courage, something this horse has in spades. I'm sure everybody here tonight would agree that racing horses such an exhilarating sport can also be an emotional roller coaster ride. And in Thingadover's case, we've gone from climbing the ladder of winning the Queen Elizabeth to landing on a snake with the next roll of the dice, seeing Thingadover suffer a tendon tear, missing the spring and a crack at the Cox plate. However, we're confident the injury is not career-ending and that he will be back sometime next year to wreak havoc on Munsey's betting markets. And as an owner breeder, the Thingadover experience to date has been absolutely amazing, and I sincerely hope that each and every owner here tonight at some stage gets to race a horse that will take them on a similar journey. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. It's now time for the New South Wales Stayer of the Year. It's proudly sponsored by Highclere Australia and Sire Custodians. Andrew Hawkins, Racing Manager of Highclere Australia, is going to join us on stage to present the award to the New South Wales Stayer of the Year.
The nominations for the New South Wales Stayer of the Year are Duace.
And in a bound, the great mare Duace races to the lead inside the 200 metres and shot clear from Stockman. Then Chosen One, Shiraz, and further back to Thingadover, but Duace, a star mare on the rise as she claims the Group 1 double, the Australian Cup and the Tancred Stakes.
Montefilia.
Montefilia, no compromise, balancing up again with Great House. She's Ideal's the deepest. It's Entente and Montefilia. Montefilia put the head in front from Entente. Montefilia from Entente. Montefilia, Entente. Bob of the head's going down to the wire, and it's desperately close in the Metropolitan. Nothing between Montefilia and Entente.
Very Elegant.
The mighty mare moves up to incentivise and races on by. Then Floating Artist, Spanish Mission, but Very Elegant at the 150. The darling of the turf has raced clear 3 lengths incentivise, and it's Very Elegant. 10 Group 1s, and now the greatest of them all.
The New South Wales Stayer of the Year is Very Elegant. Accepting the award, Chris Waller.
The miler division. Very Elegant is now a 3-time winner of the New South Wales Stayer of the Year. A contender in any race she tackles, the superstar mare stretched out to the 2-mile trip in her soul-staying target this season, the 2021 Melbourne Cup, which yielded perhaps her most impressive performance to date.
What an honour to have James McDonald at a microphone. Come over here.
It was very reluctant.
Can you come over here, stand up close? What was that day like? That very special day when she won the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah, no, it was. It's obviously everyone's dream to win one of those races, and to do it on her. We've probably have a love-hate relationship all the way through. We started on rocky road to start with. She was very fierce, and to see how she developed from preparation to preparation. Obviously, under Chris Harwood's tutorage, she was obviously beautifully educated, and she took time. She wasn't the complete package straight away, but perseverance, and she got the, as Matt Hild said, greatest prize of them all.
Yeah, and it was a journey, Chris, wasn't it? Right from when you first got her, and how she had to be educated to be a racehorse.
Yeah, it was a challenge, and as James touched on, just having great track riders, and he's probably underestimating himself a little bit. What James did on her was very special, and yeah, just to see her take that improvement each preparation and then to be winning Melbourne Cups. I don't think James or I would have expected to be standing here being Melbourne Cup jockeys and trainers 6 months ago. So yeah, it was a great thrill and huge privilege to be part of her journey, and as we said before, great owners that supported us, backed our decisions, and yeah, it was a great journey.
You're leading in the Bart Cummings medal. Did you notice that?
He has more holidays than me.
Imagine how many tears is going to be happening if I beat him.
Well, we're going to have another update in a minute. We'll see if you're still in front.
He'll be sitting at James's table, surely.
Well done. Congratulations. Good on you.
Thanks.
You're doing it tough when you have to pick between your greatest highlight of the year. Was it an Everest, a Melbourne Cup or Royal Ascot? The Queen of the Autumn is our next award, proudly sponsored by Carazzo Consulting. To present the award, Paul Carazzo, Managing Director of Carazzo Consulting.
The nominations for the Queen of the Autumn are Espiona.
Espiona moved up now, and the favourite takes the lead, with Dynasty's giving chase a length off to Party for One. But Espiona's starting to open up the shoulders now, and she's drawn right away. Dynasty's Party for One fight out the minors, but Espiona very strong.
Fangirl.
Fangirl the outside. It's Hinged and Fangirl. Fangirl the outside of Hinged is in for the fight. Fangirl ahead in front to Hinged. Stride for stride. Fangirl and Hinged and Fangirl won the binary stud stakes.
Gypsy Goddess.
In front, Gypsy Goddess. Barb Right to the inside. Gypsy Goddess just with the lead from Barb Ryder. Gypsy Goddess in front, and Gypsy Goddess has won the oath from Barb Ryder.
Hinged.
And Finch takes the lead from Heresy. Star Tontes bursting through Espiona very late. Star Tontes goes after Hinge, then Espiona. Star Tontes and Hinge, stride for stride. Hinged and Star Tontes, they split the line. This is desperately close.
The Queen of the Autumn is Hinged.
Hinged was the proverbial model of consistency, a trait that has earned her the Queen of the Autumn crown. The Worthy Cause filly broke through at racing's highest level in the Surround Stakes, proved she could mix it with the mares in the Coolmore Classic, then finished a fine autumn campaign by running in the first four of the Vinery Stud Stakes and Australian Oaks.
Thank you, Greg. Unfortunately, the ownership group were unable to attend tonight due to being out of town, and it's an honour to be here to receive this award on behalf of the ownership group. Firstly, a big thank you to the New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association for all their support, as well as to Carazzo Consulting for sponsoring this award. Big thank you as well to Chris and his team, and to Brenton as well for their part in this success story. Congratulations goes out to the owners. I'm sure they'll be absolutely thrilled to receive this Queen of the Autumn award. I know they have a very high opinion of Hinged, and rightfully so. I think she has all the traits of the top liners, from courage and versatility to that rarer touch of class. And she's furnished into a lovely mare, and it was a great return to racing just this past Saturday. And I think we'd all agree that with her, in the words of Old Blue Eyes, the best is yet to come. So looking forward to a great spring ahead. Shout out to the 4WTT guys, and have a great evening, and thank you.
Okay, before we move on to our Racing New South Wales awards, which are coming up next, let's get a Bart Cummings medal update.
After another fabulous Sydney Autumn, James McDonald holds a narrow lead in his quest for a first Bart Cummings medal, ahead of the defending champion Chris Waller, aiming for a 12th straight. The two biggest movers were Tommy Berry, who steered home a Coolmore Classic Day treble, who sits on 40 votes with Hugh Bowman, who teamed with Forbidden Love through a superb autumn run.
All right, we'll find out later whether it was a wise decision by McDonald to go on holidays to Barcelona after Royal Ascot, when we return with more on Racing's Night of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Racing's Night of Champions. We move on now to the Racing New South Wales Awards. Our first award in this segment is the Bob's Horse of the Year. It's proudly sponsored by Racing New South Wales. Keith Bullock is here, General Manager of Regulatory with Racing New South Wales. There are no nominations for the Bob's Horse of the Year. The horse that has accumulated the most Bob's bonuses throughout the season just completed is Marzu.
The impeccable placement of Marzu throughout this season didn't just culminate in the glory of the championships in Group 1 level. It also ensured he netted a cool $101,000 additional dollars for connections. In fact, it was the 4 wins leading up to this peak performance that were Bob's eligible, setting a perfect platform for future success.
Peter Snowden is accepting the award for Marzu, the horse that's got a slot in the Everest for the Star and Arrowfield, and he'll begin his campaign very shortly. Chris Ward, one of the principals of Triple Crown, couldn't be here tonight, but he sent this message.
Well, thank you very much. It's great to be accepting this award with Marzu. It's a really big thrill. We've always been big supporters of the Bob's concept, and in particular the double up voucher component. It really encourages people who have been having success to keep reinvesting in the industry, which is hugely important for all of us. I just want to thank the New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association. I want to thank the rest of the Triple Crown team with Mike and Georgia. We really appreciate all the work that you guys do for not only for Marzu, but indeed all our horses and for all our owners. Likewise, I'd like to thank Snowden Racing with Peter and Paul, all the family, and indeed all the staff there. Obviously, you guys play an integral role in preparing and looking after our horses to have them performing at their very best on race day. Very importantly, I want to thank our owners. We really appreciate your support and love sharing all these experiences with you on and off the track. And to Sam Clipperton as well, mate, you've played a really important role in Marzu's career to date, so many thanks go out to you. For everyone there this evening at the function, we wish you a really enjoyable evening and all the very best of luck for the Spring Carnival ahead. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. That's a shock, that is, because I was prepared for about 3 days what to say tonight, but I didn't know the boys were going to do that, but that saved me a little job. But I would like to make mention of Bob's. It's a tremendous thing for racing, not just for country racing, right across the board. Since the inception, it's been fantastic, and with our ever-growing prize money, it's just got better and better. It just goes to prove we are the premier state in Australia, really. Our prize money, the whole concept we have with our especially Peter Belandis and his committee and everyone around the Racing New South Wales, they do a fantastic job, and it's great to be part of it. Bob's a fantastic thing. We've won an award with Marzu. It's a good award, it's a starting point, and let's hope next year we can be back up here in the top end of the awards and have his name up in lights. He certainly deserves it. He's done a great job last prep, and to culminate in a Group 1 win, which is a fantastic result. Chris and Michael, we all know them, but it's not too really, and we deal with all their horses. We're lucky enough to get to train all of them, but they buy the lower end. They're not up in the top end of the market buying yearlings, but they source well. They picked a first season sire with Marzu, and they've come out on trumps again. So it's a privilege to train for them. They're fantastic blokes to train for, and winning this award, as I said, I hope it's a starting point for Marzu, and let's hope we're up in the pointy end here next year.
Good on you, Pete. Thank you, Peter. Let's hope so. Now for the Sydney Strapper of the Year. Once again, proudly sponsored by Racing New South Wales. The Reverend Colin Watts is with me on stage, Head Chaplain for the Australian Racing Christian Chaplaincy. No nominations, just the winner to announce. And the Sydney Strapper of the Year is Ian Ginger Smith.
Congratulations, Ginger, on winning the New South Wales Strapper of the Year award.
very much deserved. You probably hold a record for strapping the most number of winners in history, I'd imagine. It's always a delight to see you at the races. We're very lucky to have you strapping our horses. A lot of other trainers, you do a great job. For the highway trainers as well that come to town, you're always there to help, and you're a great role model to a lot of the younger participants in the industry coming through, so thoroughly well deserved.
I'd like to acknowledge New South Wales Racehorse Owners Association for the wonderful night here tonight. I'd like to thank Racing New South Wales for the award for the Strapper of the Year. I'd also like to thank the racing team from the ATC. Once acceptances came out on Wednesday, they'd ring me and ask me who I was strapping for on the weekend. Throughout COVID, I had the task of strapping quite a number of horses for trainers and owners and the strappers who couldn't be there themselves. So the team at the ATC were a great help, and thank you very much. I'd like to thank Annabelle for supporting me and for the nomination. And also I'd like to thank Campbell Ashby. Without him during COVID and throughout COVID, I wouldn't have been able to get the horses done, get them strapped and get them to the races safely and back home again. Thank you.
Well on you, Ginge. Now for the New South Wales Racing Riders, Carol Williamson, Personality of the Year, named after Carol, who we lost just a few years ago. Here to present the award and announce this year's winner, the Sydney Morning Herald Racing Editor, Chris Roots.
Thank you. Once again, we get the privilege of talking to owners, trainers, jockeys every Saturday, every Wednesday, and we get the ability to interact with them, which is for most of us a privilege, and what they do for us, we are always grateful for. This year we've looked at, we sat down and had a chat after the end of the year, and really it was the easiest decision I think we've had to make. This man has been around for a long time. He's universally admired by everyone in the industry. He's a great horseman, and he finally got a great horse and a Group 1 winner this year. And when he got Shelby 66, he did not miss an interview. He did not say no. He was open to every person who wanted to talk to him, and he was a credit to himself and to the industry. And the winner of this year's Carol Williamson Award is Danny Williams.
The wonderful autumn ride of Shelby 66 would never have captured the imagination of the nation if it weren't for Danny Williams and the amount of time he gave to the media. Williams is renowned amongst racing media for never refusing an interview, and he stuck firm to this generosity even at the height of Shelby fever. But inquiries from all platforms and parts of the nation ensured that the mainstream also got to hear Danny's amazing backstory.
Well, good evening. That's an absolute surprise to me. I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, look, thank you, Chris. Thank you for everyone that supported this medal. It's an award. Yeah, look, I'm blown away. What can I say? It's been an absolute journey, and you know, all the work that we've put in, and all the trainers and all the horse people that are associated with what I do. It's a very hard job, and you know, speaking with the media, it's a great opportunity, and I'm very privileged to at least even be nominated for an award like this. It's just an absolute privilege, and thank you very much. I'm a bit speechless. Thank you.
Congratulations, Danny, the Racing Riders Personality of the Year. Now to our Premiership Awards. The TJ Smith Award, Sydney's premier trainer, wins the award named after the legendary TJ Smith.
Thomas John Smith, a remarkable horse trainer from humble beginnings, who became a legend in the sport that gave him so much success. Smith's first horse was Bragger. Then there was Playboy, winner of the 1949 AJC Derby. In 1955, he won his first Melbourne Cup with Topperoa. And from there he produced top liners, Red Craze, Tulloch, Gunsin, Red Anchor, and of course his 3-time Cox Plate winner, Kingston Town. Smith made it a second Melbourne Cup win when Just a Dash scored in 1981, while he had multiple winners in the other 3 legs of the Australian Grand Slam of racing, the Caulfield Cup, Cox Plate and Golden Slipper. But perhaps Smith's greatest achievement was his incredible streak of 33 successive Sydney Trainers Premierships.
The TJ Smith Award, proudly sponsored by Racing New South Wales. Tony Shepherd, board member for Racing New South Wales, is about to hand over the trophy for the 12th time to Chris Waller.
The last 12 Metropolitan Trainers Premierships have been a dominant dozen for Chris Waller. Since 2010, the expat New Zealander has managed to saddle up 100 winners every season, with no other stable in that time reaching triple figures. His final total this season was 154, amassing just a shade under $26 million for connections.
TJ won 33. Are you going to be around?
Probably not. No, it's been, the first 12 years, gee, it's gone quick. But, it doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. There's great racing in Sydney, week in, week out, and some great trainers, past and present. And, it's just an honour to be here 52 weeks of the year.
Can you go back to the first one? Can you remember how you felt when you won your first Trainers Premiership, and did you think it'd lead you on this journey?
When I first won it, I thought, well, that's done. I've made it as a trainer, and take the foot off the gas and sit back a bit. And I remember Steph and I, we went to Darwin to do one of these things, like a public speaking arrangement, which I hated, and I still do now. And came back, it was like a few days later, and we hadn't had any winners. And people were saying straight away, oh, that was just a one-off, and the wheels have fallen off, you name it. And it made me think, oh, God, we just have to perform every year. So it's become challenging in that respect, but I'm lucky, obviously, to have a great team, as I'd say, each and every year, and get tearful and things like that. But it's true, it's just done by a team. I'm so proud to be the named trainer, but there's just so many moving parts, and it's growing. The owners that support us are just unbelievable. Like, there's less questions and more support, and it's just an amazing position to be in. It's an honour. It's as simple as that.
And this award is for 12 months of the year. The Group 1s, they come, and for you, they keep coming, but this is week after week, the Premiership.
Yeah. Whereas Peter Snowden touched on, racing in New South Wales at the moment, I don't know if it's ever been stronger, but in our era it hasn't. And it's just a privilege to be winning awards named after Tommy Smith, or the great trainers that have been here, the Bart Cummings, and so many that were even before their era. And just to move on from them and create our own part of history in a strong racing jurisdiction, probably the strongest in the world. As I said, it's a huge honour, and simple as that. Sad tonight, my dad passed away in July. So did Ollie Corman's dad and Tony Mulo. So there's a spare seat at our table for one of them, and each of those 3 men were very important to me.
Chris, thank you. Thank you. So from our Premier trainer to the Theo Green Award, which acknowledges Sydney's Premiership apprentice jockey. Theo Green, the Master of Apprentices.
It seems ironic that Theo Green trained a horse by the name of Inspired to win the 1984 Golden Slipper, given he was an inspiration to so many apprentice jockeys himself. The names Smith, Cummings and Hayes may be remembered as great trainers of thoroughbreds, but Green produced many champions of his own, his being of the two-legged kind. Champion jockeys Darren Beedman, Malcolm Johnston and Ron Quinton all served their apprenticeship under Green. And it wasn't just about race riding, but also teaching them to be fine people. Now Quinton is doing the same for the next generation of jockeys, and doing a great job at it, with Hugh Bowman being his star pupil. No doubt Green, the Master of Apprentices, would be proud.
Proudly sponsored by Racing New South Wales. Jackie Johnston here on stage with me, Chief Investigator for Racing New South Wales, to present this year's Sydney's Premiership Apprentice jockey, Tyler Schiller.
Tyler Schiller was head of the class in a strong apprentice jockey complement this season, with 45 wins at an efficient strike rate of 11.2%. Schiller's excellent season was also capped off with his first taste of victory at stakes level, getting outside the city limits for 3 feature winners.
G'day everyone. It's a great privilege to accept this award tonight. There's been a lot of great apprentices win this award and go on to be great jockeys, and my masters assured me of that, and I hope I can be the next one. I have a lot of people to support me and a lot of people to thank. My family sitting at the table, my boss Mark, my first boss Phil Sweeney. He built a great foundation for me, and coming up to Sydney it's been really quick time, but a really supportive year, and I was very appreciative of all the great trainers that have put me on and some great horses that I've ridden, including Fireburn and a lot of Mark's good horses, and I can't thank him enough for the opportunities he's given me and the guidance he's given me. I think there's a lot more to come, and I can't wait for next season. Thank you.
A wonderful, wonderful talent. Congratulations, Tyler, on winning the Theo Green Award. Now to the Sydney Premiership jockey, named after the legendary George Moore.
When you think of the great jockeys to have graced the Australian turf, you think of George Moore. There's not many in our sport's long history that have accomplished what Moore has. Famous for his association with the legendary trainer T.J. Smith, and of course his champion galloper Tulloch, Moore, affectionately known as Cotton Fingers, was a 10-time winner of the Sydney Jockeys Premiership. But he was also recognised around the world, with victories in 2 of Europe's biggest races, the English Derby and Arc de Triomphe. With more than 100 Group 1 victories to his name, Moore was the first jockey inducted into the Australian Sporting Hall of Fame, a position richly deserved for one of racing's greats.
George Moore Award, proudly sponsored by Racing New South Wales. Mark Van Gestel, our Chairman of Stewards, who's leaving us very soon. Just before we get to James McDonald, thank you for what you've done for racing in this state. Before you leave, you're going to be greatly missed, and we haven't given up hope that you might change your mind. The George Moore Award, Sydney's Premiership jockey, James McDonald.
For a decade, the Sydney Jockeys Premiership was bereft of a centurion at the top of the table. But now, for 4 consecutive seasons, James McDonald has lifted the bat for 100 city wins. Given McDonald was tasked with multiple missions both interstate and abroad, the champion jock had to make the most of his time in the harbour city. And that he did, striking at over 21%.
Evening. Obviously it was a season that I wish never ended. It was quite simply brilliant, but I would like to thank everyone that's helped me win this premiership. It's been an amazing year. I feel very honoured and privileged to be competing in such a tough jurisdiction here in New South Wales. Geez, didn't know I was that bad a talker, but anyway. A big thank you to all the owners, trainers, stable staff that makes it all happen week in, week out. To my manager, Mark Guest, thank you very much for your hard work and support each and every day. And to my family and friends who back me every minute of what I do, thank you very much. Hope everyone has a good evening.
And one final award, a new award in the Racing New South Wales segment here of our awards night. It's the Behind the Scenes Hero. To explain more and to announce the winner, would you please welcome Richard Callender.
Good evening, everybody. First of all, to Tony, to Jane and Peter and the team at the New South Wales Racehorse Owners, congratulations on a great night. To Peter Russell and Tony Shepard and all the board at Racing New South Wales, we thank you for this new award, and it's an honour to be up here tonight to present the inaugural Behind the Scenes Hero Award for New South Wales Racing. In life, sometimes we forget to tell those closest to us we love them and we appreciate them. Racing is no different. So commencing tonight, each year we'll recognise someone who deserves special acknowledgement for their contribution to New South Wales racing. We say thank you to you, to our winner, who I'll announce in a moment, and to those, all of those behind the scenes who give of their time, their expertise and advice to an industry simply out of their love for racing and those that are in it. Our inaugural winner is a man who many will not have heard of, but rest assured he has helped you in some way. His love of racing began early in his life with his grandfather writing about our great sport in the local Bathurst newspaper. Our winner is a man of the highest integrity who always acts in a fair and morally positive way, no matter the arena. He stands firm for what he believes is fair and just. This man has a big family, yet somehow he finds time to help trainers and participants across New South Wales out of the kindness of his big heart. The amount of emails, texts and phone calls he receives and replies at all hours of the day and night is just staggering. This man's shown me and many within racing what giving really means. He has a respect of all of us in racing and has often been consulted for his opinion by the big power brokers. It has been said in racing, self-interest can often play a role in decision-making or the wish list of some. But the winner of Behind the Scenes Hero Award goes by the creed, the greatest good for the greatest number. Our recipient tonight has been involved with the New South Wales trainers for a decade, and his services and guidance to so many is amazing. It's a debt of gratitude that many of us will never be able to repay. On top of being the Vice Chairman of the New South Wales Trainers Association and at the call of trainers across the state, he's a partner in one of New South Wales' top legal firms, and last year he also took on the role as Chairman of RICIG, the Racing Industry Consultation Group. His cool-headed and unwavering belief in doing what is right for the greatest number makes him the perfect man to occupy that seat. To his beautiful wife Tess and his family, we say sorry for taking so much of his time, but we also say thank you for lending us your husband, your father and your grandfather. Ladies and gentlemen, the inaugural winner of Behind the Scenes Hero Award is Mr. Michael Callanan.
I came here tonight to enjoy myself, and little did I think that I'd be up here with all of you lovely people in racing. But as Richie did say, my late grandfather used to write the sporting guide for the Central Western Daily, and when I was a very young man, he taught me about weights and time and what a great industry it was. And it's only in recent times that somebody rang me and said, would you mind becoming involved with the New South Wales Trainers Association? I said, oh gee, that sounds like a lot of fun. And I accepted the position, and I've had great fun. I've met great people, and as we all know, as an old bookmaker's clerk, some of the best people you ever meet is on a racecourse. They're down to earth, they look you in the eye, they enjoy life, they enjoy fun, and that's what life's all about. And sometimes I think that the high end of town should get to the races and see what life's all about. I'm very grateful to receive this award. I think Racing New South Wales, I think the industry itself is doing a great job. Every day we wake up we say, well, there might be something we can tweak and do better, but it's always best to look at life positively and what you can achieve in life and do for life. And anyway, this is a surprise, but let's all keep enjoying racing. Thank you.
Congratulations, Michael. Thank you. We'll be back with the Champion Horse Awards, the Country Horse of the Year, the Provincial Horse of the Year, and indeed the Champion Horse of the Year in New South Wales, and the Bart Cummings Medal, all still to come on Racing's Night of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our final awards of the evening. We have 4 more presentations to make before the end of the night. So it's now time for the New South Wales Country Champion Horse of the Year Award. It's proudly sponsored by Sky Thoroughbred Central, to be presented on stage by Paul Carew, the Chief Operating Officer of Tabcorp.
The nominations for the New South Wales Country Champion Horse of the Year are Another One.
And another one underneath them. Another one went to far too easy. Commando Hunt jumping out of the ground, but another one's in front. Second last year, one better this year.
Art Caddo.
Art Caddo's doing the chasing, so's Irish Songs, but Handle the Truth in front of Art Caddo, chipping in now. It's Handle the Truth. Art Caddo goes to him and got him. Art Caddo got up to win the Kosciuszko, nailing Handle the Truth.
Front Page.
It's Front Page in front of the 150. Namentha's running the race of his life, but the town plate's all over. And it's Front Page. If ever a horse deserved a big win, it's Front Page.
Shelby 66.
Shelby 66 into the clear. It's in the Congo from Big Parade. Shelby 66 is coming after them. Shelby 66 goes after Big Parade in the Congo, fighting on. Shelby 66 put the nose in front. Wow!
Well, what a year it was for country trained horses in New South Wales. We've got another great Kosciuszko coming up. And that is just a great array of talent we've just seen there in the nominations. The winner of the New South Wales Country Champion Racehorse of the Year, Shelby 66.
Straight out of Goulburn, Shelby 66 provided the racing story of the season with his remarkable rise through the Sydney sprinting ranks over the autumn. Unbelievably, this quirky gelding won a Class 2 in February. But after felling the world's best sprinter in the Challenge Stakes, he became a stakes winner. Then graduated to the Group 1 Galaxy. All done in the space of 3 weeks.
Well, what a ride. This horse has given us, from a Class 2 horse in 4 weeks winning a Group 1 race. We've just really enjoyed the journey that this horse has given us, the big thrills and the surprises. I mean, for every owner that spends money, their dreams of getting a horse like this horse, winning a Group 1 race, you know, it's been my dream ever since I've been a boy, and to be involved as a trainer and now an owner, it's something beyond my dreams. And, you know, there's so many people to thank, my staff, wonderful group of ownership, my partner Mandy, and, you know, a special mention to Inglis, who supported us because we battled away, paying away, and you know, it's been a long journey paying this horse off, and to finally win a Group 1 race like this, we've only just paid the horse off a few months ago, so it's been an amazing trip for us, and yeah, hopefully it continues. Thank you.
Well done, Danny. So from the Country Champion Horse of the Year to the New South Wales Provincial Champion Horse of the Year Award. It's proudly sponsored by TAB, to be presented here on stage with me by Jenny Barnett, the Chief Customer Officer for Tabcorp.
Think It Over is now a back-to-back winner of the New South Wales Champion Provincial Horse of the Year. And this season may have been even better. 5 group-level victories, plus the Rosehill Cup on Golden Eagle Day, capped off by an iconic moment on the second day of the championships.
Okay, I'm reliably informed we've just had a tape issue in the truck. Instead of the nominations, we've just announced the winner. But was there any ever doubt about who the winner was going to be? It had to be Think It Over. No need to roll the winner's package again. Mr Johnson's going to come up, and I think Kerry is going to come up as well. We should say on that package we would have played one of the finalists was Count de Rupee, who the team sadly lost during this week, and our condolences to Robert and Luke Price over losing Count de Rupee, who was a finalist, and rightly so a finalist in this year's Provincial Champion Horse of the Year Award. But it goes to the giant. Think It Over. Congratulations.
Thanks, Greg. Well, I never took a ticket in the Daily Double tonight, so I only had the one speech. So I've asked Kerry Parker, his trainer, and his strapper Nathan Hines to join me here on the stage and perhaps say a few words. Thank you.
Evening, everybody. As we just saw in that little clip there, it's just been a brilliant ride. The whole carnival, the whole season. You know, it's as you can tell, I'm a little bit more comfortable at the stables than I am up here. But no, and just an absolute thrill. You know, big thank you to everybody. Everyone always thinks their team at home, but it doesn't just go to the guys that get up every morning. There's farriers and float drivers and vets. It's a whole lot goes into it for a horse to arrive at the races and perform at their best. I know everyone here knows, but the normal punter that just turns up at the end of the week at the tab and has a bet has no idea what it goes to get a horse to deliver like that. So You know, everyone should be really proud here, and I hope everyone has a terrific evening. All the best.
Thank you. And good luck with his rehabilitation. What a year. Okay, we're about to roll the nominations package for the, I know you promised me, Rob, TAB New South Wales Champion Horse of the Year Award. It is proudly sponsored by Gow Gates, and joining me on stage is Anna Ryan, Bloodstock Manager for Gow Gates, to present the award for the Champion Horse of the Year.
The nominations for the New South Wales Champion Horse of the Year are Nature Strip.
Nature Strip at the 300 metres, 2 lengths clear from his old sparring partner Eduardo giving chase. It's Nature Strip in front of Eduardo. Classique Legends rattling home. Nature Strip in front of Eduardo. Nature Strip kept going. Eduardo. Masked Crusaders jumping out of the ground. Just missed. Nature Strip clings on.
Very Elegant.
Very Elegant, she's starting to extend now, and the great mare hits the lead of the 200. Very Elegant, a length on. Think It Over is in for the fight, and then came She's Ideal. Colette can't get out. Very Elegant just in front, about a neck in front to She's Ideal, is looking to rein on the party, but Very Elegant, she's brave, she lifts, and she wins her second Chipping Norton.
Zaki.
Now Zaki lets rip, and at the 250, he's 4 in front of Cascadian, then Mo'unga and Homesman. Zaki the leader at the 100 metres, he's well clear, he's 2.5 Cascadian. Zaki holding on, Zaki Mother McKinnon, won it by a length Cascadian.
The New South Wales, the TAB New South Wales Champion Horse of the Year, sponsored by Gow Gates, is Nature Strip.
Sydney's best and Australia's best is now the world's best. Nature Strip season yielded not only his first Everest crown, but a third consecutive TJ Smith Stakes, but an opportunity to represent New South Wales at Australasia at Royal Ascot. He didn't disappoint.
Thanks, Greg. What a wonderful thrill. To all the recipients today, congratulations. It's wonderful to be here rubbing shoulders with some of the greatest trainers, jockeys and owners in Australia. It's wonderful to be associated with this horse. To Chris and his team, it makes us so proud. To the horse himself, he's a wonderful, wonderful horse. I remember when we went to the UK, I don't remember much about that, but I remember this particular time we went out to the car park and I was speaking to a number of the English trainers out there, and they said, what a wonderful horse and what a great concept you've got with the Everest. We might come down there one day. I said, don't waste your time. I said, we've got not only Nature Strip, we've got half a dozen as good as him. So it's wonderful to have that horse. It's wonderful to win this award. It's wonderful to be here tonight and to rub shoulders with you wonderful people. To Nature Strip, to Chris, the whole team, Charlie, Sophie, Shanae, Stewie in particular who rides in work, and the J-Mac who rides me so brilliant in the races. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Rod, and to all the Nature Strip crew. They are the champion racehorse of the year. Congratulations, and good luck in the Everest as the road begins very soon, maybe as soon as next week in the Concord. Okay, we'll let Mr. Waller and Mr. McDonald maybe resume their chairs before going off and having a photo taken, because we've got one more thing to do, and that is to have a look at the final standings for the Bart Cummings medal. Here it is. So, James Cummings on 21, Kerem McAvoy on 23, Rhys Jones, Dylan Gibbons, 2 apprentices on that list, Tim Clark, Jason Collett, Tommy Berry, Nashua, Sam Clipperton and Hugh Bowman. We had McDonald in front on both counts. Let's reveal who has won this year's Bart Cummings medal. Chris Waller, congratulations. Chris Waller is the Bart Cummings medal winner yet again. Russell Balding is here on stage, Chairman of Racing New South Wales, to present Chris with the medal in just one moment.
Just as Chris Waller receives a 12th Sydney Premiership trophy for the mantelpiece, he can also add the correspondingly numbered Bart Cummings medal. The accolade is a true reward for consistency, as Waller actually made his biggest moves on this year's medal tally outside of the spring and autumn carnivals.
Well done. Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's, as I said before, it's an honour to be here, and yeah, 52 weeks of the year, James. I don't think you moved after the last 3 quarters, so it must have been a great holiday. My team would know we work tirelessly, and thanks to James, the likes of Hugh Bowman and all our jockeys that ride for us week in, week out. Yeah, you guys and girls do a great job. The owners that support our stable have been with me a long time, and it's gone beyond just getting winners. It's personal relationships and support through thick and thin. Yeah, my staff are just fantastic. They're there 365 days a year. Starting too early in the morning, we need to start later to get longevity out of them and give them a better life. As well as our own families. Thanks to Steph for supporting me, Tyler, Nikita. Yeah, an army of supporters, my team of farriers, Jason, and other farriers in Melbourne, the Gold Coast, those staff that run those stables and look after the horses week in, week out. We've got more slow horses than anyone. They take a lot of care. And fortunately, there's some good ones as well. Special mention to Mark Van Gestel, who is departing. He's been just an amazing person to work under, and his integrity has carried on from Mr. Murray. And obviously, you've set up a great team here. You're so well respected, and obviously that's why you're going to Hong Kong, which would be a huge coup for you. But you'll be sorely missed, but certainly won't be forgotten. And yeah, Sydney racing is so clean. It's so we're just petrified basically when we go into your office, and it's a good place to stay away from. So. Yeah, I don't think there's much else. Thank you, everyone. Obviously, we get a lot of runners, and that's why I get this award. There's so many good trainers, jockeys, that don't get the opportunities that I get. I'm fully aware of that. I didn't do the points, but I appreciate the people that did. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Chris, and to all of our winners here this evening. And that wraps things up. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for being here at Royal Randwick. Tony Shepherd said earlier, it's like being part of a reunion. It's lovely to see so many familiar faces back here with us again. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching at home. Good night.